Thank you. It's nice to be here with Mark, who edits one of my favorite newspapers.
I wonder why.
There's no better place to talk about cities than New Orleans. Pound for pound, it has contributed as much to American culture, lore, and literature as any city. Some of this is obvious: the food, the music, the unique centuries-long experiment in diversity that has made as much a Caribbean as a European and African city. There's tremendous resilience, having remade itself more than once over the generations, most prominently after Katrina. It's already experienced the kind of climate devastation that has since struck Houston, San Juan, and vast stretches of California. The latest government climate report says that these will be continuing and even more sweeping, and that wildfires and storms will begin to appear in places that have never seen them before. But it also embodies the issues of crime, economic inequality, and racial tension that remain part of the American landscape. In the coming days, you'll get to celebrate American cities, hear debates about them, hear possibly a future presidential candidate talk about cities and politics, and a great Southern writer talk about place. Now, my friend Mark, who runs the Picayune, will talk more about New Orleans.
Thank you very much. And welcome, everybody. It is so great to have all of you over for dinner. We are about to partake in a great New Orleans tradition, which is that all of the really important conversations in New Orleans happen over dinner, and they are followed after dinner by really important, passionate conversations about food. So this is the perfect little microcosm of a New Orleans experience. So why have this conference in New Orleans? I think most of you know that 2018 is a tricentennial for New Orleans. What that means is that for 300 years, the city has beaten the odds. For 181 of those years, the Times-Picayune has been telling that story, the story of New Orleans' improbable survival. All the issues that the world faces, the world's cities face, are issues writ large in this city. Poverty, crime, education, economic and environmental resilience, racial and gender equity, declining infrastructure, progress versus preservation, culture versus commerce, sustainability of local journalism, and the accountability and the shared identity that are attached to that. These are all issues that are playing out in New Orleans on a daily basis. I can't think of a better place to gather all of you to have a conversation about the future of our cities. It is really an honor to be co-hosting this event with the New York Times. Our news organizations both go back a very long way. Times-Picayune published our first edition in 1837. The New York Times published their first, what year was that?
I think it was
1851. So 14 years later, they caught up with us. They followed our lead, so good job there. Earlier this year, we came together and produced an enterprise project that we thought would be a model for a local national journalism collaboration, a really hard, in-depth look at Louisiana's disappearing coast and the threat of rising seas on our coastline, a story that we thought had great relevance for all coastal communities around the world. Our goal with that project was to try to start a conversation that went far beyond Louisiana and New York, and really to all of the coastal communities around the world about how they would fight climate change, how they would continue to survive. And so that conversation really led to this conversation that we're having tonight and the rest of this weekend. And it is really wonderful to have all of you here to be a part of it. It begins in earnest as soon as Dean introduces our two esteemed guests.
Thank you. So I should say